MPs are 2 days away from voting on assisted dying, on a proposed bill that would give the right to terminally ill adults in England and Wales. Assisted dying is still illegal in most parts of the world, but more and more places are offering it. Our medical editor, Fergus Walsh, is here to explain. Fergus.
Since MPs last voted to reject assisted dying in 2015, there's been a dramatic rise globally in the number of countries changing the law. Now, more than 300 million people live in jurisdictions where the state will help eligible people to end their lives. One of the first was Oregon in the United States in 1997, where it's available to terminally ill, mentally competent adults expected to die within 6 months. It must be approved by 2 doctors. Patients self-administer the lethal dose, so it's very like the system being proposed for England and Wales. But here, a High Court judge would also need to approve it. 2/3 of patients who die have cancer. Around 1 in 10 have a neurological condition and 1 in 10 heart disease. Asked about their end-of-life concerns, 9 in 10 worry about losing autonomy. 2/3 cite loss of dignity. 4 in 10 worry about being a burden on family and friends. Around 1 in 3 prescribed a lethal dose don't use it. Across the United States, assisted dying has spread to 10 states, more than double the number a decade ago. In 2016, Canada introduced medical assistance in dying, initially just for the terminally ill. In 2021, it was extended to those experiencing unbearable suffering. In 2027, it's due to be extended to those with a mental illness. A doctor or nurse can administer the lethal dose. What about Europe? Well, Switzerland legalised assisted suicide in 1942. More than 500 Britons have died at Dignitas in the past 2 decades. The Netherlands and Belgium legalised assisted dying more than 20 years ago, where it's also permitted for children. Austria and Spain recently changed the law. In all these countries, you don't have to be terminally ill to qualify. It's also now offered in New Zealand and most parts of Australia, but solely for the terminally ill. Patients can self-administer the lethal dose or ask a health professional to do it. Campaigners here who want assisted dying promise that the safeguards in England and Wales will be the tightest in the world. But opponents say the experience of other countries shows it will be a slippery slope, putting the vulnerable at risk.